Ơi, mua hộ em 10 vé. Because you cannot see any signal that show you this is the capital before. Right? We only have.
Yeah, that's why we're English. So now we have right there.
Being able just again to be the king for one day.
I see the back, everything belongs to Greek. For the Greek, we got the name start with love. It's been
For our ancestors. Okay. They don't know what the old way translated president.
Yeah, they keep talking about them being yellow, but I've only ever seen them green.
If you go to Corral, like August.
Nó bị gì đó.
Mất hút đâu rồi, vào trang nhắn tin
đập một đoạn đường cái đi bạn có xây lại.
He told us not to go out there, didn't he? We can. Probably not a good idea. Because if you hurt yourself.
The way the work tilts, we're actually the closest summer and although
You were within such an angle that even if you did stand in sunlight,
there. We go to the cave and later we will come back by speedboat.
Oh, very well behaved.
On 18,000 years ago, about the earliest woman living in the Hatla Way. Before
It looked like a house, a lot of them. Like a lot of if you don't know the point. Yeah. Sorry, I'm so used to I'll take another one.
Let's go in. Then right here we have some easy to buy all the ingredients here. Very familiar for everyone and easy to make at home. And then you roll it to the end.
So before we serve dinner for everyone, I will come to this island. King Island for the hiking and swimming.
You okay, Dad? Are you feeling a little શીખાવે બહુ રાજી પછી ખોટું આપણે
C'est pas tout ça, il y a des marches en descente.
Thank you.